In a shocking turn of events, tennis powerhouse Simona Halep, a two-time Grand Slam champion, has been handed a 4-year suspension by the International Tennis Integrity Agency. Her doping scandal, involving a positive test at the 2022 US Open and a second charge received in May 2023, has rocked the tennis world, leading to unprecedented drama. Let's dive into the details. Simona Halep's future in tennis hangs in the balance as she has just received a daunting 4-year suspension. With her dreams of innocence shattered, Halep's appeal becomes her final shot at redemption. On September 12, 2023, the ITIA delivered their verdict, unflinchingly justifying their decision with some compelling reasons. The presence and use of roxadustat, as evidenced in Halep's urine sample collected on 29 August 2022 at the US Open. Use of a prohibited substance or method during 2022 based on collection and analysis of 51 blood samples provided by the player as part of the ABP program. The ITIA also shed light on the reason behind the verdict's delay, clarifying that the volume of evidence for the tribunal to consider in both the roxadustat and ABP proceedings was substantial. After the ITIA's final decision, the WTA released as well a short statement. The independent tribunal has made its rulings surrounding Simona's case, and under the TABP, the decision may be appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The WTA will support the decisions reached through the process and will continue to follow this closely. Simona Halep now finds herself under immense pressure, a weight that may define the twilight of her career. The 4-year suspension handed down by the ITIA has cast a shadow over her legacy. As her journey through these tumultuous times unfolds, it's worth noting that her struggles started towards the end of 2021 and continued in 2022 when she revealed that she had been on the verge of quitting tennis. Things had started to slow down for Halep because she hadn't won any Grand Slam title since 2019 and was dealing with persistent injuries. The 30-year-old even had a panic attack during her match against Cheng Qinwan of China in the second round of the French Open 2022. She ended up losing in 3 sets, 6-2, 2-6, 1-6. But after Simona Halep was kicked out of the tournament, she took to Instagram to share that she was slowly regaining her fire back since hiring Patrick Mouratoglou as a coach. Keep in mind that Serena Williams had Mouratoglou as a coach for a long time, and he helped the US tennis star win 10 Grand Slam titles. Back then, at least, it was clear that Simona was planning on slowly building her way up back into the top 10. She even shared that, "To be able to touch the highest mountain in tennis again, I need time and a lot of hard work. It is not my personality to give up, so tomorrow is a new day and I'll be ready to start again." However, dismissing her entire team, including former trainer Darren Cahill, later proved to not be in Halep's favor. The Australian had looked after the Romanian tennis player with a 1-year break since 2014 and was the reason behind her reaching #1 in women's world rankings in 2017 and 2018. But getting rid of him and getting an entirely new team led by Patrick Mouratoglou made things tougher for Simona. A change in coach wasn't the only radical transformation in the Romanian tennis player's life. Her personal life brought its own set of challenges as she tried to manage the legal proceedings of the divorce with her soon-to-be ex-husband Tony Iaruk in September 2022. The couple dated for 2 years before getting married in their hometown in Romania in September 2021. Less than a year after the wedding, on September 15, the 42-year-old millionaire confirmed that the couple had ended their relationship. Iaruk revealed the breakup by telling Romanian reporters that they had both agreed to it. However, that didn't change the reality of how stressful a separation can be. What made the stress from the divorce worse was probably the fact that the former #1 player had just suffered a humiliating loss in the first round of the 2022 US Open against Daria Snigger. It all came to a head at the same US Open when the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, temporarily banned Simona Halep after she tested positive for roxadustat, the drug for anemia, was on the list of banned substances by the anti-doping agency. The immediate consequence of this accusation was that Halep couldn't play in any WTA games, and there was a possibility back then that the ban could be long-term. And that came true later on. Now, what made this ban such a big deal was the fact that Halep, at number 9 in the ranking back then, was the biggest name in the sport to face this kind of ban since Maria Sharapova got a 2-year doping ban in 2016. Even Sharapova's ban was challenged, and in the end, it was cut from 2 years to 15 months. The ITIA said that Halep asked for her B sample to be tested, and that test confirmed what the first test found. Halep wrote on Instagram that she was going to fight the ban. "I will fight until the end to prove that I never knowingly took any prohibited substance, and I have faith that sooner or later the truth will come out," Halep wrote. The whole situation seemed to be mired in controversy because Halep denied taking the illegal substance on purpose. Then she claimed she had proof that small amounts of the drug for anemia got into her body through a licensed supplement that was tainted. The Romanian tennis player even sent evidence of the contamination to the ITF in December 2022, but the independent tribunal, ITIA, pushed her hearing to March 2023 and further. What made the whole situation even stranger was how she shared that. The ITIA says one thing in public, but does another behind closed doors. "I have asked for my hearing many times, but the ITIA has always tried to put it off." While the case kept being delayed, people came up with all sorts of explanations for why Halep was facing these accusations and the ban. Some seemed to imply that Serena Williams was behind the whole thing after losing a title to Halep at Wimbledon in 2019. Serena fans even took to Twitter to demand Halep return her 2019 title. While Halep's fans continued to claim she was innocent, others suggested that Serena would have been treated much worse in her position because the tennis community is racist. Additionally, the fact that Brits and Americans manage the main professional tennis bodies almost exclusively could perhaps explain their discriminatory attitude towards the Romanian tennis player. An outspoken tennis veteran, Ili Nastase, added fuel to the fire by suggesting that the failed drug test reports were racially motivated. The 77-year-old said that he had heard from sources that other high-profile players on the tour had been in situations like Halep's, but weren't investigated thanks to their more powerful nationality. "I can't tell you anything because I don't know the details. Only Simona can answer. On the other hand, if Simona Halep were American, nothing would be published. Nothing at all," he said. It only seemed to get worse in May 2023 when Simona Halep was hit with her second anti-doping charge. The independent expert panel had finally spoken and found more irregularities in her profile, suggesting long-term use of the drug. The additional doping charge was a catastrophic development in Halep's case, but the two-time title winner was still determined to prove her innocence, demanding a review of her case by another independent tribunal. This review, meant to be held at the end of May, was once again delayed. The ITIA, for their part, denied delaying Simona Halep's case on purpose. Nicole Sapstead, the senior director for anti-doping, responded by claiming that while they understood the complexity of Simona Halep's high-profile case, they had remained committed to engaging with Ms. Halep in an empathetic, efficient, and timely manner. It was clear, though, that the stress of these circumstances finally pushed the brave Romanian tennis player to her breaking point. With her out of the WTA Top 1000 because of the ban imposed in October 2022, things aren't looking great for the former tennis star. Simona Halep is now facing a make-or-break moment in her tennis career. The ITIA's 4-year suspension is like a dark cloud hanging over her legacy. The pressure is on, and it's a defining chapter in her life journey. But Halep vowed to challenge the ruling in the top sports court, stating she absolutely won't accept this decision. "I am continuing to train and do everything in my power to clear my name of these false allegations and return to the court," Halep said in a statement. I intend to appeal this decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport and pursue all legal remedies against the supplement company in question. One thing is for sure, Simona's been on provisional suspension since October 2022, and now this ban extends until October 2026, leaving her sidelined until she's 35. So, what's your take on Simona Halep's turbulent journey? Will she manage to overturn the suspension, or is this the final chapter in her remarkable career? Share your thoughts in the comments below.